departments. The costs are allocated to each department as follows. So what do they mean by costs are allocated, like the costs of running the department?
So costs need to be allocated to different departments. So let's say, let's use this as an example. Okay, this business, right? You might have 2 people working in one area and another 2 people working in another area. Okay, but the rent is for, the electricity is for everybody. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you're working in room A or working in room B, you're still going to pay the water and lights. Okay, so we have to allocate the bill to those departments. So how much does the room A get and how much does room B get in terms of allocation? That's what they're saying here. So here they're saying that the company is obviously a manufacturing business. Okay, they have to be because they're allocating costs of manufacturing.
So this says production departments.
Yeah, so you need to look at the departments. You've got 3 production departments and you've got 2 service departments. Fine, so now I know how many departments this business has.
Okay, so indirect labor is all of these.
Yeah, so there they've allocated it. The indirect labor they've shown you. So machine, assembly, finishing, what is it? Stores and canteen.
Yeah.
Okay, those are the indirect labor costs. And other indirect costs have been given. Okay, then they say
other indirect overhead costs.
Yeah, the service departments.
Okay, the service department's costs are allocated to production departments as follows.
Okay, that's important. So let's interpret that. The service department costs. So those purple costs that you've highlighted must be allocated to the pink costs or the pink departments.
Okay, so the service department costs.
That's what they said.
Are allocated to production.
To production. So we're going to take those costs on the right, the purple, and allocate it to the pink. Because that's what they've said that we need to do. Okay, with management accounting, it's a lot of interpretation of what they've given you and then approach, the correct approach.
Okay, stores in proportion to the number of stores. What's that say?
Requisitions. Requisitions is what they request. Okay, so they're saying that the stores cost. So stores cost, the purple. Okay, yeah. Those costs are going to be allocated according to the number of requisitions.
Okay.
And then the canteen.
Canteen in proportion to number of employees.
Okay, so the canteen cost will be split to the production in terms of. So let me create the table because we're going to need a table for this. All right, so production. With production, I've got machinery, assembly, finishing. Right, then I've got service. And there's 2 there. I've got the stores and I've got the canteen. Right, figure-wise, can you quickly give them to me and then I can... The first one, machinery, 253.
Direct labor, 253, 290, 34, 100.
Okay, 290, 34, 304, 340. 340, 100. 340, 100.
Stores, 52, canteen, 78.
52, 78.
Then indirect overhead costs is 205.
205.
90.
90.
225.
225.
88.
88 and 92. Okay, I just need to label this first part. Okay, so this was indirect labor. Just recreating the table. You would have to do this in the answer as well because you didn't allocate the cost. How much space did they give you to answer this question? Oh, they gave you lots of space. That's good. Okay. And the other one was other indirect overheads. Indirect overheads. Okay. Let's put a note here. The allocation of stores to production. According to, what did they say? Stores requisitions.
So does that basically mean number of stores required?
No, requisitions is how often they request stuff. Okay, but they'll tell you that in the question just now. And then the other one was allocation of canteen to production according to employees. Alright, so that's reading and interpreting and understanding. Okay, then they say
the information is available.
Yes.
Hours.
Okay, so direct hours I don't need. Machine hours I don't need. Number of employees I do need. Okay, so let's write that down. Number of employees. I definitely need that because I'm going to allocate based on that number. Employees. Alright, so how much does machinery have? 5.
Yeah.
Assembly?
6.
And the last one?
9.
Okay. Then we need to write down number of requisitions. See, there's that basis of allocation. Number of requisitions.
6,300.
6,3.
5,400.
5,4.
And 7,200.
7,2. Okay, so now you've got that. Okay, now I can do the allocation, right? What am I doing? I'm allocating those costs to those departments based on that basis. Okay, so I need a total here because I can't allocate if I don't know what the total is. Right, so 5 plus 6 plus 9 gives me 20. This plus that gives me 18,900. I need the totals for the employees and the requisitions because that's going to form part of the fraction. Okay, I'm taking a fraction of my employees and requisitions and I'm allocating the service costs.
So is that would be like step 1.
Okay, allocation of stores costs and then allocation of canteen costs. Right, so what must I do? I need to allocate this over to that. Okay, so let's take the first one. Let's take the stores cost. How much stores cost do I have? I need to total this up as well. Okay, so there's a total. And I need a total here as well. Okay, so sum up this plus that. Sum up this plus that. Okay, so now I've got the total service costs. And now I'm going to take those costs and I'm going to allocate it to the departments.
Okay.
Makes sense so far?
Yeah. So is this part of the question, this one here?
I'm just rewriting this top part so I can show the allocation. Okay, so what am I going to do here? I'm going to allocate.
What's part of the question?
Well, these totals you would need, and then you would have to allocate the costs.
I've got the totals.
Yeah, so if you write it on the question, that should be okay. I don't know if they'll mark it. They should, hopefully. But if not, these totals should be somewhere on the answer.
Yeah, okay.
It's fine. And then now I'm allocating the cost. I'm showing.
So this is part of the question. I need to write that.
I'm showing the allocation, yes. I'm showing the allocation of the costs.
Okay, so this is indirect labor. Are you going to write more across because I don't have the space?
I'm going to show workings, but That's the answer.
Okay, hold part of that. With allocation of stores. Okay, cool.
Okay, so what did they say? They said allocate the store costs to production according to the requisitions. Alright, so store costs. How much store cost must I allocate? There's the store cost, 144,000. Okay, times. Machinery has how many requisitions? Machinery has 6,300 requisitions. Divided by the total, 18,900. There's the first allocation.
So that was. Okay, so let's do that working. What does it look like?
The store total cost. Okay, because just think about it logically. Okay.
Yeah, no, I just want to get the number so I can put it in.
So the store costs, I need to allocate 140.
So this one.
Yeah, I need to allocate 140. How am I doing it? According to this.
So it's 1 times.
It's a fraction. Okay, numerator 6,300 over denominator. It's a fraction. Okay, 6,300 of 18,900 of this must be allocated to there.
Okay, so
it's 1,000. It's 14,000 times 6,300 divided by the total 18900.
Okay.
Answer. Okay, then assembly. Okay, so now you tell me what am I going to do with assembly?
So you're going to say for assembly, you're going to say.
What am I allocating? The store costs. So what are the store costs?
How do you know? You're just doing machinery. Okay, so you have to allocate store to all of them and canteen to all of them. Okay, so then it would be 1/4.
Yes, 140,000 times. How are you allocating it? Number of requisitions.
Yeah, so 4/5.
Times 54.
4/5. 25.
Oh, I wrote down. Okay, let me change it. Divide by the 80. It's 45. 4500. Okay, that's going to change. Oh, no wonder. See, those were funny numbers, decimals. Okay, so now they're nice round numbers. Okay, you have to change this to 18,000.
Yeah, totals.
18,000. Yeah, your totals. Just change the 18,000 because I had 5,400 here.
So it's going to be 18,000.
Yeah, 18,000. Okay, do the last one. Finishing, how do you allocate it?
14 times 72 divided by 18.
Yeah, 140,000 times 7,200 divided by 18,000 gives you that. Okay, notice if you add up all of this, you're going to get the same total.
Okay, let me just, so it was 49, and then it was...
It's 49,000, yeah, more zeros.
55, and 6. Okay, and then, yeah, okay.
Okay, so now can you do the canteen?
Yes, again. Okay, then
Try.
it would be 17 and 3 times 5 divided by 20, right?
Yes.
17 times 6 divided by 20, and 17 times 1 divided by 20. It's 45, 45. Okay. Is that all?
No, we just need to finish the question. So what else did they ask you to do?
Calculate 2 decimal places a suitable overhead absorption rate for each of the 3 production.
Okay, so each of the 3 production departments, overhead absorption rate. So
So is this
overheads,
right to do this here?
yeah, that's an allocation of the cost. So now I need to total. Right, so add up everything. Total overheads. Equals sum up everything here. Sum all of that, all of this, and all of that. Okay, and those are my total overheads. Okay, so now I know what the total overheads. Then I go back to the question and I see what would be the best way to allocate overheads. Would it be direct labor hours or machine hours?
So total overheads, what did you, add these two, just the 2? Eh?
No, everything, because they're all overheads. Indirect labor is an overhead. Indirect materials is an overhead. They're all manufacturing overheads. Maybe let's put a word here, manufacturing overheads. There we go. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, done that.
Okay, then we need to look for an absorption rate, so we need a denominator.
What does absorption rate mean? What does that word mean?
How are you going to allocate cost to the department based on the overheads? Okay, so it's basically...
absorption rate means...
Let's get the exact definition. Can you just... Yeah, there we go, textbook. Alright, let's see how they define it. It's just an allocation to the department. So, absorption rate. Okay, absorption. Overheads, 289, 297. Let's go to 289, 297. 289, 289 the absorption. Where's the definition for the absorption rates? Okay, they don't define absorption rates, but they define absorption. Let's just see if there's anything else maybe I can find one. Yeah, no, they don't define. Okay, so see, they talk about absorption as being when all overhead costs have been apportioned to a cost center, the total has to be charged to specific units of production. This process is known as absorption. Okay, so absorption is exactly that. It's adding up all the overhead costs and then allocating it to specific units based on production.
Total overhead costs allocated.
So here's another definition. Allocation of costs is the term used to describe the process of charging whole items of expenditure to a cost center or a cost unit. The costs are easily identified as being derived from a cost center. Okay, so it's just a process, that's all it is. An absorption rate is looking at how are we going to absorb those costs for each of those units that come out of that specific production line. Okay, so we need to look at the information and we need to make a decision. Direct labor hours or machine hours? What would be the best way to absorb these manufacturing overheads? Labor hours or machine hours?
Maybe machine hours.
Yes, correct. Okay, so machine hours, how many do we have here? Let's check. Let's write it down. How many?
3.
No, but what are the amounts? 45,000 for the first one, right?
Then 30, then 25.
30,000 for the next one. 25 for the last one. Great.
So is this another absorption thing?
Yeah, to get the rates. Okay, so now if I want to rate, I'm going to divide. So the manufacturing overheads absorption rates, okay, would be the one divided by the other. So this amount divided by that amount gives you that figure. This divided by that gives you that figure. This divided by that gives you that figure. 2 decimal places they said, right? Calculate to 2 decimal places. Okay, so this would have been per machine hour. And that's it.
So this was this divided by that, this divided by that. This
yes, to get a rate. Because remember, a rate is something divided by something else. Like driving, speed is a rate. It's the distance over the time, kilometers per hour.
This whole question, we have to do all these workings, allocate the costs, and then choose machine hours to get a rate.
Yeah, because you're looking for an absorption rate for your production departments.
So first your allocation of costs and then find a rate.
Well, the problem with management accounting is that it can differ slightly depending on the question. But you just need to think about costs and how they will be absorbed. Right? Because here we used number of employees and requisitions. We could have used something different. Okay, it depends on what they say.
Okay, then the last question here said, okay, so I can put this one here. Then this one here said, Bruno Limited has been approached by a customer to quote for one of their products. This will require the following: direct materials, that many kilos at that per price, direct labor of that many hours at that price. Direct labor hours and machine hours required in each department for B. So there's direct hours and machine hours. It is the company's practice to achieve a gross margin of 40% on all of its products. Okay, so gross margin. What is it for me then? Gross margin is also known as is calculated gross profit divided by revenue times 100. Okay.
Okay, so they said we need to quote, calculate the total price to quote to the customer. Okay, that's not too bad.
Okay, so calculate the total, yeah.
Right, so let's look at all the costs. Bruno Limited has been approached by a customer for one of the products. This requires the following. Okay, so direct material is the first cost. So direct material costs. Right, what are the direct material costs? 20 kilos at 5 rand per kilo. So 20 times 5?
100.
Okay, $100. Next one, direct labor. 10 hours at 9 rand per hour. So 10 hours at 9, so it's 900.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? Direct labor hours and machine hours have required in each department will be, okay, so direct labor hours, which we've got, is 5, 3, and 2 for each department.
So that is 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, those are labor hours.
Yeah.
Okay, and we've got the machine hours, so we need to allocate the overheads. Right, do you agree? We've allocated 10 hours at $9 per hour, that's direct labor. Which was the total, yeah, so that's the 5, 3, and 2. See that? Okay, so then we need to say manufacturing overheads. Okay, and this will be asterisks based on absorption rates. Right, because do you agree those departments still have other costs? They have those costs there. Okay, so machine hours, how many for the job?
For the labor is 5.
For the labor, okay, so let's split this.
Labor and machine time.
Machinery uses how much? How many machine hours?
That's the second one.
2.
Don't you want to do labor first?
Yeah, we've done it. No, we haven't. We don't need it. We've done it. Okay, what did they give you in the question? Direct labor of 10 hours at 9 per hour. Okay, there's the 5, 3, and 2. 5, 3, and 2 is 10. We've done it.
Okay. Okay, so the machine time. This is different, so it's 2 hours, 30 minutes, and 20 minutes.
Okay, so 2 hours, so 2 times what is the rate? 12,21 equals. Okay, so this job is going to need 2 times that. Okay, gives you that figure. Round it off to the 2 decimal places. Okay, that's machinery. Then we have assembly. Assembly, what is assembly?
30 minutes.
30 minutes would be half an hour. So 0.5 times 15,53. finishing, how many hours?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. So that'll be 20 over 60 to get hours.
So it's 1 over 3.
Times 27, comma 9. Okay, so this times 20 over 60 gives you that.
And then do we have to add all of those?
Yes, and then you get the quotes. Right, so total costs, total estimated costs is the sum of all of that. Okay. So that represents how much you would be charging them.
Plus the margin?
Yeah, so then you'd have to add 40%.
Okay, let me just quickly catch up. Direct costs. Direct material.
Yes, that's just the cost. Can I finish it first and then you copy it?
Okay, can we do that then?
Because it's just 2 lines. Okay, so what am I going to do here? Well, you said gross profit margin is GP minus, not minus, divided by sales, right? Do you agree? Okay, and that equals 40%. Do you agree? I'm just going to do it here so you can see it. So 40% is 0.40 equals gross profit divided by sales. Okay, do I know what the gross profit is? No, I don't. But I know gross profit is what? Selling price minus cost price, right? SP minus cost price. Okay, over selling price, SP. Okay, so let's take the SP to that side. So I'm going to have 0.4 SP equals SP minus cost price, I know, 1041,49. Right, that's that was the cost price, eh? Yes. Okay, so then get that to that side. So this will be 1041,49 equals SP minus 0.40 SP. Okay, so then that'll be 0.60. Solve for SP. Selling price would be equal to this divided by 0.6. Right? That's the selling price. There's the final answer. Okay, so gross profit percentage on sales. Your profit, the profit, let's just write down profit, your gross profit.
Doesn't it have to be a percentage? Does you have to times it by 100, I think?
No, the 40% is the percentage. Okay, so the profit is this minus that, gives you that profit. Then the selling price, or the quoted price that you would give your customer, would be that. It would be this plus that. Okay, and then see, if you look at gross profit percentage, let's redo it. GPM equals gross profit divided by sales equals, what's my gross profit? 694,33 divided by sales 1735,82 times 100 equals. Okay, that should give us the exact same answer, 40%. Yeah, see, 40%, round it off.